Hi guys, I hope you guys had an amazing Easter weekend. I hope you're having another amazing weekend right now. Today we are going to talk about decluttering. 3 things that you need to know about decluttering and how it's going to drastically help you in manifesting and co-creating the life that you want. So before I get started, I would love to know, is decluttering something that you struggle with? Is it something that you love? Like, are you obsessed with it? It's really like, I love interior design. I love home decor, and decluttering is something I've always just had such a passion for. But I've also noticed that over the years, I had a hard time letting go of my stuff. And after a period of time, I just started asking why? I know I don't want it. I know I don't need it, or at least I know I don't need it. For instance, I used to manage a nightclub, and we would constantly be wearing black dresses and skirts and whatnot. And I had so many heels. And when I quit my job, I held on to it for so many years, and I was even though I caught myself not wearing any of it for years after, I kept thinking well, maybe one day I'll want to go with my girlfriends and I'll want to wear it, but yet I kept never wearing it. So I'm talking about things like that. We start to uncover what our patterns are, and that's one of the things I love about decluttering. So I'll dive into that in about a second, but first I want to explain one thing that you can do that will really help you with this massive declutter. So first, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to just picture, the most fulfilled, happiest version of yourself. And think about how are you spending your time? How are you waking up first thing in the morning? Are you waking up before the sun comes out? Are you wanting to start, your morning with yoga? Do you want to start your morning with journaling? Maybe going for a run? What kind of foods is that most fulfilled, happiest version of you eating? What kind of relationships are you surrounded by? What kind of relationship are you in? Not necessarily who, but just how is that relationship? Is it fun? Is it young? Is it got lots of energy to it? Or does it feel very deep and passionate? What kind of thoughts and beliefs does that version of you have? And, your home, when you picture your most fulfilled, happiest self, what kind of home, not even that it has to be a different home, but what does your home feel like? What does the energy in your home feel like? Is it calm? Does it feel like a place that you just go to and rejuvenate? Is it somewhere that's very energizing and uplifting? How do you feel in your home? And what would all of that essentially look like and feel like? The more clarity you have with what you want, then when you do your massive declutter in your home, it will be a lot easier in understanding if what you have, if your physical environment is in alignment with what it is that you actually want. So as you start to go through your items, one of the first things you'll notice is that decluttering brings up a lot of emotions. We start to we have a lot of doubt, as you start letting go of whether it's your books, your clothing, just your stuff, you'll start to realize that there's an attachment to your stuff. And sometimes we feel like it's an extension of ourselves. Maybe, for instance, if you just spent the last 6 years or 7 years in school, and your entire wardrobe reflects being a student, and now you're graduating and you're going off to becoming, whether it's a lawyer or a doctor, and now you want to feel confident, you want to start wearing, outfits that are in alignment with the person that you want to present yourself as at your job, right? So looking at all of your past stuff, you're going to start to realize this was a big chunk of your life. Or if you're leaving, a relationship and you're moving out, you're going to start to realize a lot of this stuff is attached to that person that you were, the memories that you created. So maybe you want to let go of all of those things because they all hold an attachment that you don't want to hold on to. Or maybe you're just finding that they have a hold onto just heavy emotions that really aren't serving you anymore. So the first thing about decluttering is that it really helps you to break free from heavy emotions and beliefs that are holding you back and weighing you down. So as you start to go through your physical items, you will notice that anxiety comes up, it feels uncomfortable. And you know, anytime we create any change in our life, these emotions are going to come up. When you think about, you know, leaving your job, leaving your partner, maybe if you want to go traveling the world for 6 months, and you're going to be, you know, you're going to step into the unknown. You're not going to know what's going to happen if you make those decisions. You don't know 100% if things are going to work out, if they're not going to work out. And as we start to let go of our items, same thing pops up. We don't know if we're going to need it again. We don't know if it's the right decision. So you'll start to notice that there's a lot of fear in letting go. And you'll catch yourself being like, why am I being so ridiculous? Like, it's a shirt. Like, it's got holes in it. It's so raggedy. Like, why am I like having a hard time letting go of this? And you'll start to notice really quickly how much emotion and how is attached to your stuff and how much your stuff is basically having a hold on you. So as you allow yourself to start letting go of your physical belongings, you will feel the anxiety, you will feel the self-doubt, and that's okay, because your nervous system, what's happening is you're teaching it to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And this is exactly what you want. You know, because at the end of the day, change is never going to feel comfortable. Sometimes it's exciting, but often it's scary. And that's what we have to teach our nervous system, is that scary isn't bad. It's, you know, it's essentially a part of expansion and growth, and it's okay to sit in it, and it's okay to be comfortable with it. So just, you know, have some grace with yourself. If you're feeling like it's hard, that you're not sure why you can't let go, just try to understand what the attachment is. Is it because you're afraid that you might need it? Is it because you feel guilty for getting rid of it? What emotion is attached to it? And the more you understand this, the more you can really allow yourself to talk through it and then essentially let go of it. The other thing too is, as you start to create clarity about what it is you want for yourself, the life that you want to manifest and create, and then as you start to let go of your physical items, you are going to communicate with your reticular activating system. So this is a part at the base of your brain, and this is essentially how manifesting works. We can only bring in so much information at once. So your brain, that part of your brain, is always bringing in information, evidence that is in alignment with what you tell it. So if you tell it, you know, the world is so hard, then you're going to have more evidence on a daily basis that life is so hard. But if you communicate with what it is you want, if you communicate to yourself, I really want a peaceful, tranquil, uplifting space, then as you go through this process, it's going to make it easier for you to let go of all these things, because that part of you it makes your whole judgment, your whole decision making a lot easier. And then it also brings in more things that are in alignment with feeling that way as well. So the first thing it does is it really helps you to break free from heavy emotions and patterns as well. Number 2 is to understand that everything is energy. Everything you own, everything is made of electrons and protons. Everything has an energy to it. And if it's not giving you energy, then it's taking energy away from you. So if you're having a hard time letting go of your physical items, even though you know that you don't need it, then just know that it has a hold on you. It is dragging your energy and it is depleting your energy. So once you do this drastic shift, this entire declutter of all of your belongings, you are going to be shifting your energy. You're going to shift it physically, externally, and then also be shifting it internally as well. You will have so much more energy in your space, internally, in your mind. You're going to create more room for expansion, more room for growth, more room for abundance. And that's what I love about it, is it really drastically elevates you internally and your space physically. And that brings us to number 3, is that your outer environment is a manifestation of your internal environment. So if you are not happy with the way that your life looks like and is, then you need to look at internally, what needs to shift. And as you start to create clarity about what it is you want, and you look at your physical belongings and you go through everything and allow yourself to start cutting the ties, allow yourself to sit in the discomfort, the anxiety with letting go of your belongings that you know you don't need or want, essentially, you will create this huge, massive energetic shift externally and internally that is elevating your space and yourself internally to becoming a an energetic alignment and a match to the things that you want. You'll know as you start to do it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So the best way to do this, I know there's a few ways that you can do this. The best way is really what's going to work for you, essentially. So if time is not an issue for you, then try to do it within 1 to 2 weeks. If time is a struggle for you, since I became a mom, I found that doing anything I feel like takes a lot longer, so I got to give myself at least a month to complete anything. So, try giving yourself a month, whatever it is. Give yourself a set period of time, because if you just decide, okay, I'm going to declutter, and then you go from room to room, you're going to have things in every single room piling up, and the next thing you know, it's going to feel like you have more chaos around you, and then it's never going to get done. So decide what your time frame is. Decide that you're going to give yourself 1 to 2 weeks, or maybe it's a month. And if it is a month, then maybe decide to do 2 drop-offs, so you don't have like your entire home filling up within a matter of a month. Make one pile for what you're going to donate and one pile that you essentially want to sell. And that's one thing to keep in mind, is you literally have money hanging in your closet. You've got money consistently around you. Like, don't, if you feel like you're in a place of lack where you don't have enough money, you don't have enough of what you need, I guarantee you have so many things around you that you can sell, that you can use for funds to purchase what it is that you want. So just decide, what does that item really mean to you, and what does your energy mean to you as well. So last year, there was a fire in BC where I live, in Kelowna. It started on the west side and then it jumped the lake, and it basically, like, everyone in town felt like the entire city was burning down. It was scary. It was really scary. And every 20 minutes there was a new area that was being set on alert to evacuate, and we eventually evacuated our place. We were gone for about 5 days, and during those 20 minutes of packing up our belongings, that's just one way to look at it, is if there was a fire and you had to pack up your belongings, like, what would you actually take? You would look at what you actually use on a daily basis, what you need, and what you love. And then that's what you would take. And you start to realize really quickly what it is that is really meaningful to you, your family, your friends, and you realize that your physical items really, like, everything is replaceable. And so take a look at just, really on a scale from 1 to 10, where is your energy at? Where is your level of fulfillment at? How are you feeling at peace wise? And if you feel like you're completely like a 10 out of 10 frantic, life is chaotic, then chances are you're probably going to have a massive amount of things to get rid of. So just allow yourself to have fun with it. Couple years ago, it was the year I met Brandon, I really challenged myself to, like, go past my comfort zone and letting go of my item and, like, letting go of my stuff, like things that I loved but weren't quite fitting the way that I loved it. And anyway, so I pushed myself past that comfort zone, and it was funny because, like, all these things started coming into my life that essentially had to go, and then next thing I knew, my entire world changed. I met Brandon, and we moved in together. We now have our 2 little ones. This all happened pretty rapidly too. His entire family was suddenly like my family, and just became my entire world. So it's really incredible how quickly you can manifest what you want, and how quickly you can shift your entire world by just allowing yourself to let go. And that's essentially what it comes down to. The life you want, the freedom that you want, everything you want is on the other side of fear, which is essentially attached to your ability to let go and just to trust and to let life flow. So I know it's a lot easier said than done, but have fun with it. Have fun, write a letter, decide what you want to manifest, decide what you want to co-create, and decide that you are going to be okay with letting go of what you don't need, even though it feels uncomfortable, even though it feels scary. Give yourself the opportunity to build your trust, to build your faith, to build your confidence. Because as you do this, that's exactly what you're doing. You are, you're letting go of something that you love, in faith and in trusting that you are making the right decision, and that something that is greater for you, something that is more in alignment for you, something that you actually, want for yourself, will make its way to you. So have fun with it. And I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to cover for this week. Next week, I am going to be going over seed cycling and how impeccable it is for balancing your hormones, how it helps your digestive system, how it's phenomenal for everything, your energy, your skin. It's amazing. And I'm so excited to tell you guys everything about it. I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, sorry. One last thing, one little announcement is the 28-day live detox solution is almost done. It's almost out. And this is actually a huge inspiration of the program. In the 28 days, we declutter not only our mind, our body, like our liver, our digestion, our body physically, but we declutter our mind as well as our physical environment. And it really will get you unstuck from where you are and propel you into getting into alignment with the life that you want to manifest and create. It's created a lot of magic for me, a lot of magic for my clients, and I'm so excited to just have it done and also to have it available for a price that is ridiculously affordable for everybody. Anyways, that is it for today. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.